In this lesson, we're going to look at how we can control an object's position, its rotation, and its scale. So in order to do that, we need an object in the scene to work with. So I'm going to go to my polygon tab at the top, and I'm going to select on a cube, and then I'm going to make a cube inside the scene. I'm just going to hold shift and left click and drag. And then as we look on the left hand side, we have our toolbar here. The toolbar, we have our selection tool, we have a lasso selection tool, and a paint tool. Below that, these three are the ones that we're going to look at. We have a move, we've got a rotate, and we've got a scale. If we select on the move tool, we'll notice that the gizmo, the transform here, changes. We actually see a direction for our Z position, our X position, and our Y position. If we want to move the object, we can simply hover on top of any one of the axes and then left click and drag to move it in a direction. The squares in between allow us to move along two axes, so if you select on any one of those, left click and drag, you can move it along the Y and the Z, or the Z and the X, or the Y and the X. The basics of movement, nice and simple. Rotation is very similar, except we get two circles, or three circles here, and the three circles basically provide us control for rotating along each one of the axes, where we can left click and drag to rotate the object around it. The fourth circle on the outside, if we hover and rotate, is going to rotate based on the viewport, how you are viewing the object. And as a reminder, we also have our channel box with our position, our move, rotate, and scale options as well. So we can recenter those if we want, and that's going to bring our object back to its original position. We'll move this guy back up with our move tool. Now we also have our scale tool. The scale tool allows us to scale an object, and we can scale it based on, just like before, we can select the individual axis to scale the object on. We can also scale an object all the way through where it mirrors itself. We can scale along two axes at one time. Alright, this is going to be our move, our rotation, and our scale tools. The shortcut keys for each one is going to be your W, E, and R. That's going to cycle through your move, your rotate, and your scale. Take a minute, practice with it, move around the objects. This is how we are going to construct the objects and models inside of our scene by using these three tools. These are going to be used quite a bit, so go ahead and get a little bit of practice and see about moving, rotating, and scaling an object inside of your scene.